Generally speaking, a mom's first labor is going to be her hardest and longest. It's kind of like you're a pioneer paving the way for any and all other babies you'll ever have. For one, your body takes longer to decide that it wants to be in labor, and when it is in labor, it takes longer to actually change and go through the process. And it also takes you longer to push your baby out because, let's face it, we've got a baby's head that's this big and an exit that's about that big, and there's a huge discrepancy there. So imagine that there's like a basket weave of elastics and a bowling ball sitting on top of them. So the basket weave of elastics are like your pelvic floor muscles, and the bowling ball is like your baby's head. There has to just be a ton of constant pressure from both pushing and contractions to stretch all the tissue so the baby can fit through and be born. And it's an unfortunate fact of life that we never quite go back to normal after we've had kids. And so this is also why you hear moms say later that when they cough or sneeze or jump on the trampoline or run, they might have a little bit of urine come out because those pelvic floor muscles just aren't as strong and they're a little bit more stretched than they used to. But this does make it so on your first baby, average labor length is about 12 to 18 hours. And then you have to push for 1 to 2 hours to get the baby out. And on your second baby, it usually goes much faster. Once your body starts having good, regular, strong, intense contractions, it remembers, oh, I've done this before, and the process goes much faster, and you obviously don't have to push for 1 to 2 hours because you've already stretched those tissues once before. So labor lengths, generally speaking, are about half of what they were on your first baby. There are exceptions to every rule, of course, but usually the second goes way faster, and it's way easier than your first. Not pain-wise, but just because it's faster. As a labor and delivery nurse, I treat my patients much differently depending on which baby it is for them, meaning that if you walk in the door and it's your first baby and you're 5 centimeters, first of all, I'm really happy for you because that doesn't happen very often. Most first-time moms don't know how bad it's going to hurt, so they usually come in at like 1 or 2 centimeters, not 5. So I'll be really happy for you if you come in at 5 centimeters, and then I'll go at normal pace as I set up the room and prepare for delivery because on average you have about 5 to 7 hours before you're going to deliver. About changing a centimeter per hour, 1 or 2 hours of pushing. That's how we get 5 or 7 hours from that point. But if you've already had a baby before and you come in at 5 centimeters, you could potentially deliver in 10 minutes. So I'm going to set up the room quickly and be prepared because I never like to be caught off guard. And then if your baby comes sooner, then we'll be ready. If it takes a little bit longer, then that's okay too. But we do expect it to go much faster the second time around. Now, you mentioned that your labor length on your first baby was 21 hours, and so you probably could expect your second to go way faster. I would say probably 12 hours or less. I hope the very, very best for you, and if you have any other questions for me in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.